idea for a YouTube channel that I've been thinking about for a long time. And something just happened to me that has kind of just taken this channel in a new direction. And I'm going to get really real with you really fast and tell you that I just got dumped. I mean, I'll tell you the whole messy, sordid details some other time in some other video, but I just survived week one of a really complicated, painful breakup. So it occurred to me that a lot of people are going through the same thing that I am right now. I think especially in this society where everything, including relationships, seem to be disposable. So I thought I'd document my story because, of course, we are a narcissistic society, and you know, what else do you do besides document your story? And I thought I would share it with you, and maybe I can help some other people with broken hearts going through the same thing that I am right now. So today's video is going to be on my top 7 emergency tips and tactics to survive that first week of a bad breakup. So your first week of your new reality. So let me tell you, rest assured, the first few days are going to be just a roller coaster of emotions. Don't let anybody, not even yourself, tell you what you should or shouldn't feel. You're entitled to every one of those feelings. And that leads me to my first tactic. Feel what you need to feel. Whether you did the dumping or they did or it was mutual, there's a loss here, and that loss, it's not just that person or that companionship, but it's also all those dreams or fantasies that you had about what that future was going to be like together. And that loss can be akin to the same thing as a death. So all the same stages of grief apply. Denial, bargaining, pleading, desperation, anger, anxiety, depression, your loss of self, confusion, and finally acceptance and a reevaluation of your life. And these stages are not going to come, in a neat little package in the perfect order. It's messy. You'll go back and forth, and once you think you're done with one stage, here comes another wave. Take a deep breath. Let it happen. Let that emotion, whatever it is, wash over you. Cry, hit your pillow, scream. I may have broken some dishes, to be honest with you. Whatever you need to do to get those feelings out, go ahead and do it, obviously without getting into any trouble. Give yourself a lot of grace this week. Don't judge your feelings. I almost got mad at myself for feeling like I still loved this person even though they had hurt me so badly. And I just wanted to be mad. But all those feelings are normal. Let them come. Don't judge them. There is one thing I would caution you not to do, and that is my tactic number 2, and that is don't catastrophize. Okay, what I mean by that is try and avoid those really exaggerated statements like, I'll never find anyone, all men suck, or all women, or whatever. I'll never, I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. I'm going to be alone forever. Those are not feelings. Those are lies. And you don't need to be convincing yourself of those lies. That's your fear, your anxiety, and your newly damaged self-esteem that's talking. And so try and remember that emotions don't last very long unless you invite them to just hang out with you. Studies show that emotions only last about 90 seconds. So what keeps those negative feelings around for forever is the stories we tell ourselves about those feelings. So don't do that. Don't tell yourself a story about that. That's the difference between pain and suffering, right? So yes, this is painful, but don't invite the suffering by repeating those exaggerated statements over and over again. That can get us trapped for months and even years trying to get over something. Um, so, we want to be able to heal in a healthy way so, we can have a healthy relationship in the future. So instead, just go ahead and feel them, accept whatever it is you're feeling, that emotion, breathe, and let that emotion wash over you and watch it go by like a wave in the ocean. And that brings me to tactic number 3. Don't re-traumatize yourself. And what I mean by that is replaying something hurtful your ex did or said to you over and over again and just reliving that over and over again. Don't, this is all hurtful enough. We don't need to, hurt ourselves more by reliving a terrible moment over and over again. And that brings me to number 4, for God's sakes, don't drink and use drugs during this time. I mean, everything in moderation, right? But this is a bad time to be doing that. If your girlfriend insists on taking you out for a drink, just have one or two. This is not a good time to get drunk. You're going to be feeling like absolute shit. I know I am. But our tendency is to want to avoid those feelings. Nobody wants to feel like this. But drugs and alcohol are just not a good way to get past it. So number 5, get your support system underneath you. It's natural for us to reach out to a best friend or somebody close and tell them what happened. Your true friends and loved ones are going to give you that place and that space to feel what you need to feel. And if you don't have anyone to reach out to, I recommend a breakup support group. I know it sounds corny, but just type it into the Facebook search bar and you'll see several of them. And, you probably don't want to be in that group forever. It's probably not a healthy place to be. But in the beginning, it's a darn good place to let your feelings out with other people who are feeling exactly the same way that you do. And they may even be in a different, slightly different place or a little bit further ahead of the game and really have supportive and healing messages for you. So that helped me take the initial loneliness away from what I was experiencing in the first few days. If you're a believer, go to church. You can find support there, obviously. I had stopped going to church because my boyfriend didn't want to. So best believe I'll be going back there and rebuilding my support group. I moved out of the area I was living in for this person and just hadn't developed a network here, where I live. So, but anyway, go ahead and reach out to family and friends, even ones you haven't seen in a while. This is not a good time to isolate. So that brings me to number 6. Yeah, you're going to feel awful. Massive anxiety, anger, sadness, all the things. And your body is going to be in fight or flight mode. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real physical danger and emotional turmoil. It doesn't know the difference. So you're going to be in that fight or flight. You're going to lose your appetite. You won't be sleeping well in this first week. But one thing that does help, honestly, and this is probably my biggest advice, is to get out and get some exercise and, if possible, sunlight. We're just complicated houseplants. That's what we need. We need good nutrition, water, sunlight, and we need exercise. We're just, for me, what's helped most is walking. If you're a gym person, go to the gym. I went on a 5 mile hike with my family. It gives that anxiety and those negative emotions someplace to go. And from what I've learned, it can also help replace those good chemicals that you're lacking now that you used to get from your ex. So not only that, but the more I walk, the more clearer my mind is. And of course, this is a confusing time, and being able to get out there and walk has really helped clear my mind and help me make better decisions. And a bonus, it's jump starting my revenge body. Okay, so most breakups cause some weight loss anyway, and why not capitalize that if you need to get yourself back into shape? Um, you know, and it might help you with your confidence and getting that power back. Because I know I feel, especially the first week, felt very powerless. So that's helping my confidence. And finally, I have one more for you, number 7. Remember, you've survived everything in your life up until this point, and you're going to survive this too. Okay? So, to recap, my first week tactics for overcoming a bad breakup: 1, feel whatever you need to feel. 2, don't catastrophize. 3, don't re-traumatize yourself by living things over and over. 4, skip the booze, certainly the drugs. 5, get a support system under you. 6, get out and exercise, move your body, and you'll feel so much better. And 7, remember, you will survive this. Now, I'm going to be back next week for week 2, survival tactics to get through a breakup. In the meantime, remember, you're not alone and you are worthy of love.